If you're looking over to it, it's Complexity, IHC, Bad News Eagles, Greyhound, Rare Adam. These are the 5 teams there. Any one of these teams is up for the taking if you're coming in through the European close qualifier. You are a legitimate favorite. Hell, I mean, I might even go as far as saying maybe even a second seed, with some arguments from Complexity being made to actually take the entire tournament. So that's your road to Pro League. Obviously, that's what the ESL Challenger gives you, and it is getting more and more difficult to get to Pro League through the EU season just because of how competitive the Challenger League is as well. This is a massive opportunity for these guys.
Well, diving into our first map, Apeks' pick. They will start T-side as a result of that, and we'll get to see just how explosive they want to kick things off with. A little A-main presence, that's nice, and they've got some utility to boot. No one actually even considering this as a possibility here on Aurora, double stacked into Donut, but as there's a lack of pressure and a lack of presence, one smoke from Kicksign and a flash, it could be enough to keep those players busy, because for now, no one will have sight on A.
Well, there's no donut smokes over here, so they will have to take the first aim duel. Celta missing out his first bullet. Jacob on the other side, though, is just able to stave them off while the bomb's being planted, so they will try and fade back with 2 players, but the remainder of them would rather try and fight into the back for good reason. Kenzie on the other side, double swung, rather triple swung into jails. P250's got a clean guillotine. They will be able to take down a head. CT's not looking like they're going to have much chance in this retake, and as time is ticking down low, Jacob and company have got such a comfortable position, but maybe Lackey coming into behind can offer up some opportunities, especially with Malchik coming as well into it. Knock with a P250 now trying to fight through, kicks and can't find the player turned around, and Malchik, with his 2 quick kills, will help them with the final defuse.
Yeah, great job on that retake. The kills there from Latic certainly helping, and then Lackey as well, just being able to chime in onto the action. Didn't have a kit, so it had to be a fast retake there from Aurora, and they succeed in doing so. Apeks' post plants weren't in the greatest position because of the speed there, and also, you know, you noted the fact that there was no donut smoke. They were under constant pressure from that area. Maybe a little bit of, they were just, I think, hoping that there would be extra attention drawn towards middle from the early utility that they threw. Aurora not over-rotating. They had the exact information they needed. Buys from both sides. A lot of rifles here for Aurora, but that means they'll be lacking util, so this early deployment of all these smokes is a delay tactic, but down to just the one on Matic, which I imagine they'll try and use for a late round situation. Once again, no kits, so if they get an entry here on Apeks, it could certainly be a quick collapse on the site, and that will be incredibly difficult to retake.
Quick heads up to everyone as well. I have checked. I think Latic is Malchik. Just recent, you know, Malchik got 3 kills. Latic's got 3 kills. So,
yep.
Mats. Smoke down to Red Room, and Latic will be just focused on getting some spam out over here. He just wants to make sure that if there's any sort of quick aggression back out to retake mid, he can try to punish, but with 50 seconds, it's actually a very good timing window to try and hit into the A-bomb side if they can try and make it through here. Rotations will not be able to make it there in time. Latic's the only player here to provide support. Celta focuses in on A-main, but that's where Latic's covered him off from Donut completely. Celta on the fadeaway won't even need to find something, because Kenzie's got the lurk, and with Knock and Stiko, now just Stiko, the only ones left alive, this is nothing they can do here.
Yeah, great initiative there from Aurora. They recognized just as well as we did that they were lacking utility for the late round, and so they moved Kenzie in, you know, the least valuable gun on the server. He had the flash, and you know, he could probably drop that over if we were being hyper efficient, but he got all that information over at B, and meant that Aurora could have that extra couple of players on that A site that made it almost impossible for Apeks to break in. It's very rare that you see maybe more than 1 or 2 players on A, so that should be a bit of a tell that someone garnered or gathered information for that Aurora side. Although Eagles is all they bring to the table. This is actually one of the Aurora favorite maps in the first version of the roster. Lucky taken over in-game leading responsibilities when the roster was founded, and always inserted himself into the middle of a map to try and be super adaptive, get the most information, and make the right call late round. So shifting that up and being a bit more tailored to one side of the map, giving some responsibilities over to Latic, who of course, when he has an AWP, will be in that position primarily.
True.
Because the last AWPer they had, I think, was Delusion. Also came from the VP Prodigy roster. Latic was
He's
actually
not
his...
that bad. You don't have to be rude about it, Michael.
Well, he wasn't delusional. His name was Delusion. And Latic was his replacement on VP Prodigy. And funnily enough, he's the replacement on Aurora as well. So maybe a little rivalry developing between those two players if you see Delusion in the future.
Salter, good cover. I have to say, I've been really impressed with this A-hold so far, and I want to see whether this can continue. They've been so smooth about just the communication between the two players and recognizing, you know, good timing of the rotates, who's going to lock down which angle. Oh, I've got your donut covered off. You just have to focus on A main. Give you a quick support if you can. Just these small things that are so incredibly important, but also very hard to get down in these two-man combos, because so often there's extra comms going on for the rest of the team. Right? Oh, I'm rotating. This is happening. Yada, yada, yada. That the players who are under fire actually sometimes end up losing communication protocol. So it's just nice to see. It's early days, but nice to see from Aurora.
Mid-take here from Aurora, and Apeks will have to concede that control. Just clearing B as well, and there was only one person that actually wanted to keep that in check on the side of Apeks. So again, this can lean into a stack, and that's where the bomb and players are positioned outside of middle for a take late. If they can reinforce this A side once again, and we'll get to see that power duo once again under pressure. Now mid-control nades showing their hand, but Kenzie aggro. JL immediately removes his head.
It's rude, JL. It's not giving a chance to play whatsoever. Now Lucky will be the next to try and contest Shakem. Waiting for the smoke to try and dry out, but as the players from the inside will commit, this crossfire between Latic and Lucky just completely dismantles them, but somehow missing out on Jacob. Rob Jacob Stiko coming in from the side.
2-on-2. Nork and Kixon don't have any util to help slow down or segment these angles. They have to take fights. Nork dealt with, and Kixan held onto Temple, but now a flash just to hit his screen, but able to dodge it. Around the corner and waiting for the right hand. Deployed, and Kixan cannot connect. Another retake here for Aurora, another success, and so they'll keep the good times rolling 4 in a row.
The degree to which they're able to find advantageous situations right when the side hit is coming in is so impressive. I know I keep waxing lyrical about these two A-side players, but again, you see them consistently making the right decision. They double up inside donut, not a single player dies. They've got the perfect crossfire to deal with it. And yes, Stiko does end up trading, but in the process of actually going into donut, he's forced to challenge up against 3 individual duos. You're going to eventually lose one of them, and that's exactly what happens. And with him down, you've already lost the advantage earlier on, and what you've regained is now gone as well.
Yeah,
so
and a lot of that is due to the fact that they're clearing B in these rounds. You know, in the force buy that Apeks pulled out in the second round, they got that information. Now as well in this round, they also got a push. Now they're trying to take a more brute force approach over towards A, and losing in the opening duel. Now Kixon having to back himself into 3-on-5 very quickly, but that's a free kill. Moving through the smoke, JL was watching for exactly that. So a chance back in presented. Very spread, and bomb separated from all of the players here on Apeks. They're really just hoping someone over pushes or hunts for that information as they have in rounds prior. And they'd be right in that assessment. Lackey currently moving down B ramp is something that can be communicated over. JL just gave up the angle, and Lackey has a backstab if JL exposes himself. Lackey's going to miss it, but JL has also missed out on this opportunity over at B. Lackey could have been a free frag just waiting to be found. And now it's going to lean an extra player over towards A. Selter under pressure.
Might just be a full rotate call as long as Norway can just try towards the so there's no reason whatsoever, and the bomb has been lost. Kixon's demise, and the round has ended right with his life. There's no chance of bringing this back whatsoever, even if there are 2 players who are on the lower side. Honestly, Apeks are just looking like they're going to be completely outplayed. Lackey and Celta now stepping into the fray as well, just making the map so small for the Apeks. Right? All these timely pushes, the good decision-making on what angles to be holding down on. And sure, there's a missed timing over there initially, but the fact that he maintains presence in mid, recognizing that at most it's going to be a 3-on-3, even if his demise is met. His teammates are in incredibly good positions. All he has to do is make sure that the donut pressure cannot be put to use and cannot come to fruit. He even gets the kill kill at the end of the day, drops a bomb. That's obviously a bonus. He can't know that, but great stuff.
Yeah, and in large part, they're trying to dodge Nori and Kenzie, who have been predominantly positioned on the B bomb site. We haven't seen much action that direction. And I'm wondering whether the strategy coming in was to try and exploit the younger players in Latic and Selter who have less experience, competing at this kind of a level. But they're doing a great job. They're sort of working off each other. Sometimes Lackey's there, sometimes he's not. Even Latic on a rifle has looked good. So, tried to punish the youngins, and instead, they're on the other side of the punishment.
What's the change going to be, Michael? That's my only question.
Gotta be me.
At this stage. Well, it is at least on the halfway.
Hoping for it in a rifle round, because one smoke to break in, they're really hoping for some nice sharp shooting.
Feel like they've been hoping for that all game now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jacob and Kixon have not been getting any shooting done, let alone sharp shooting. Unless the walls.
Yeah, not seen too much success. JL's been able to get kills, usually on players looking the wrong direction. Low sample size, that's true. But Jacob was a key piece, and still struggling to get on the board. Some opportunities have been given up. You can see they're holding onto utility as well, recognizing that this is a low buy. Pulling out nades is actually a good way to get yourself killed if it is timed incorrectly. But Apeks are bleeding this one dry. That one smoke that they had, while they'll be met with spam, it won't stop them from continuing close. They're going to try and phase one of these smokes.
Well, at least one person gets him in the end. Nock and Stiko might still be able to get a bomb plant out of this, and suddenly an actual 3-on-3 potentially, but the first deagle shot's going to be everything. Jacob needs to be able to land this. He's going to even try and go for the flank end from behind. Nock isolating out the duels. AK at the ready, the only man with a rifle, but no HP off of it. Jacob can't even go for the flank end behind. His team is already dead, and he's missed the first shot. Not a chance in hell.
Yeah, struggle, but more than I think they initially bargained for. A low buy to get a plant down is certainly nice. I want to try and keep the economy at least somewhat modest. It's not been a runaway game economically for Aurora, but it's not far off. Just shy of 10k is Latic, which will help in his future AWPing endeavors, should they ever lose. Interesting as well that Nork's not opting to go for an AWP. Wonder if that means the pace will be, once again, a quick implementation here from Apeks. The link control and they're hovering around those smokes. Full buy and full flash. That is excellent. The timing impeccable here for Aurora. So the mid hold by Lackey predominantly alone. One flash is all it takes, and Apeks already 3-on-5.
Feels like their default is just being countered out at every single instance. Apeks can find no map control when they're hoping to go early into mid. That's where they just get flashed into and taken down immediately. To be honest, the scores just tell the story, right? No one on Aurora's side has more than 3 deaths across 6 now going into the 7th round. This is pure dominance. JL's even worried about someone being inside the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, the game Aurora's been having, they could afford to maybe take a risk or two. Grimy angles here from Aurora. They know man advantage, and they'll try and hold on to it. 1-for-1 is Lackey, and Norway will even spring in from behind. They try to go through Donut. A little slow to the trigger there for Selter. But JL locked in, and Kenzie will have him. 7 straight here from Aurora. This is Apeks' map pick in the series. Let me make sure that I've got that one correct. They're kind of getting their behinds handed to them.
Don't know if we mentioned this, Michael. Sorry if we did. But Starix is coaching this Aurora team. That is a legendary IGL of the CIS scene who has created many, many fantastic teams. I can't imagine that he doesn't at least have a hand in how well disciplined this team is, if nothing else.
And they're pulling from all different walks of life as well. Lackey, now current in-game leader, followed in the footsteps of the sort of entropic system to a certain degree. Was, I think, certainly more loose. But then you have Nori and Kenzie, who are under the tutelage of one of the better players in the Russian region, Jerry. Fostered a lot of up-and-coming talent. Yeah, there's a lot of different perspectives here for Aurora. This round doesn't go any differently than the rounds we've seen so far. 2 kills for the CTs, and Apeks, at least this time they've gotten some free space. Shelter, hyper aware, he's in for a triple himself. Dixon, last man standing, and will succeed in getting it 1 trade back. But now they can play the 3-on-1. Kixon just hoping someone offers their life up first.
Bomb would even be plotted for Apeks. There's no chance for even a scramble to get a second buy to come into things. Apeks, I cannot imagine what the morale in the camp is like. You need a timeout or something like it at this stage, because I even struggle to call some of the efforts from Apeks disjointed necessarily, to be honest, Michael, because it feels like they do at least go in with the game plan. It's just no chance of executing that game plan at any point. Either they are completely countered out, or they're forced to be so timid that Aurora just plays further back in the bomb site, waits for them to make a mistake. Inevitably, on the push in, they are met with just superior firepower.
Yeah, it just feels like they're a little slow to shoot back in some of the rounds as well. Like, they have been given some opportunities to find entries, but Aurora will shoot first. The first shot from Latic will be a miss. We'll get overwhelmed, and that will retreat. Nori can't cut them off from the site, so this could get dangerous.
Didn't really do too much. Ail's good for 1, but tried it out all too quickly. Nox still with the open hand, will fight back with the weapon of choice now, hoping to hold on, but Lucky coming in from behind. The flank has been activated so soon. Nox reload heard, position given up, and it's Lucky to commit. Head spotted out, shot miss, Knock punish, and Jacob slow on the repeat. Flashbang as well, though. Not quite nearby. Leaves Kenzie in a 1-on-2 for once. It's the front situation going the other way around, and no, this one won't be one out either.
Yeah, nice just fast play there with the low buy there from Apeks. Immediately overwhelmed and punished Latic for that missed shot on the site. Very infrequently have we actually seen his AWP have much influence. A lot of his kills have come from rifles and called into question when it comes to a faster pace. This could revitalize Apeks, maybe get the confidence flowing a little bit, because you win around like that, suddenly Aurora start to doubt themselves on faster plays. Now just got to make it work on rifles.
Not going to find anything at all. Easy map control to come through from Lackey, but the problem is Kenzie tries to get aggressive from behind it without the threat of middle, and that's why JL has intercepted him. They're not expecting a second Norway. Coming up big.
You expect 1, but 2.
Yes.
Oh
my goodness, shake him! Classic Jacob days over here, but Norway's always a classic. Quick double to keep things even. And as the bomb is planted, Nok has been oh so far away. Stiko doesn't have a safe path of retreat. He has to go into cave should he want to try and back off, but no retreat plan right now. Might have just threaded the needle, but the problem is the needle's going to Nok's head as well. Stiko on the other side, spotted out, but ammo is low. Does he dare go for the reload? 5 bullets left in the magazine. Going for it now would be a mistake. Lackey's with an air shot. Lackey bomb not planted quite for Stiko, but he's still able to come through. Cleans it all up, and again, might be just the 1 player left alive, but Apeks up to 2.
Yeah, I mean, great job there from Stiko. As soon as he got that smoke and a molly down, he was hoping that the rotate had been completely siphoned off. And once he won that fight, suddenly Lackey's in a terrible position. He had to basically wait out the full duration of that smoke if he understood that timing, just to find a chance, because you could see Stiko was considering it. Lackey's information wasn't given over, but missed the timing, and Stiko doesn't falter in the clutch. Again, close circumstances here for Apeks. Grinded wins, but wins nonetheless. Aurora now on a little bit of a tightrope economically instead. Seltzer as well. Seltzer, not Seltzer, down to low HP and finally overwhelmed, but Latic's in with 1, and this is a problem angle that they have to address. A smoke will suddenly greet him, and Norway trying to cross. There was a gap.
Flashbang in. They can't really go through this gap, but they will still be gray screen if I'm not wrong. It'll be very hard to try and make this commitment. Nox covering it off regardless. No flashes coming in anytime soon. Nox looked away. This might be what gives up the opportunity to take this one home despite the disadvantage if Nock isn't just confident about one angle. But a flashbang in, Latek trying to set up, still the AWP out on the retake. Missed shot from Nock, kicks in, only good for one. It is still right back only on Stiko's shoulders. Stiko with the bomb not being defused yet. Now with the smoke to help him out as well. Spamming in through it. Can't connect. But no time left and they will be forced to back out once again. Barely any players stay alive, but Apeks still bringing together rounds.
Yeah, a whole 0 players survived that round because the bomb radius on Ancient is massive these days. Got to get all the way through A main if you want to try and survive, and just can't get that distance. Nobody sticking the defuse there from Aurora, and that has to be a bit of a miscommunication. One tapped it, I think the one that didn't have the kit, and just had to be a full commitment. That was what Stiko was banking on himself, and he secures the round for Apeks. That post plant looked pretty poor. You know, out in the open, all those smokes were fading. They didn't take control of, I guess, more easily controllable areas. But Stiko makes it work on his flank. The 1-on-3, and he's been clutch. Exactly what I want to see from Stiko. I brought it up earlier. I want him to be able to show that sort of tempered control here for this Apeks roster, something that has been a little absent in some of their other games. But in the face of despair, that's when he arrives. Didn't think the money would break here from Aurora, but 3 straight is what it took. Onto pistols, and so it should be a nice little walkover. Should things not go awry. Selter, there's 1. The US continues to chip away. 2 back for Selter. 3 from the young buck, and Stiko just trying to take some kind of control. Maybe he has to do it again.
AK and take it down early on, but Latek manages to stay alive. Molotov well placed, but that's where Stiko also has to consider so many different angles. He's hearing those deagle shots going out. There's a second AK coming in. Stiko as well. The reposition had been spotted, so he has back. The off angle no longer operational. Kicks in. Good damage on the Celta, who's been the madman of the round. Stiko brings it back to even. Nori now looks to commit, and that's a freebie picked up. Kixon only left for the Galil. Both players in front of him have got no armor though, so might as well be an AK. Celta, hero of the round so far, needs another insane shot, but with time running out, Kixon knows he's already won the round. May as well get the kill while he's at it. Celta chased down, and Apeks cannot keep more than 1 player alive, it seems like, but they will continue this small win streak.
God, what would they do without Stiko? Jeez. These rounds have not been comfortable. Starting out 5-on-2 after Selter finds 3 kills in middle is far more than Aurora were expecting themselves, I'm sure. And this is scary, man. I was trying to big up Kenzie, Nori coming into this game because they've been doing God's work for this Aurora roster. But if they start getting other pieces activated as well, they're going to be a very dangerous team. In Melbourne, the EU RMR, people need to pay attention.
They're definitely going to be one of those teams that comes out, gets a really big upset, and everyone on like a Reddit or HLT is going to be like, oh my god, who saw this coming? And it's just like, literally everyone has been watching that.
Well, I think the good news for Aurora is that they've been winning so many of their online games. It's actually been hard to ignore them or not realize that these guys are a potential threat.
Not for sure. Jacob. That spam's really never worked out for them so far, but at the very least might be able to do that extra bit of damage. No harm in keeping on going for it, but JL is actually maybe even looking to circle through around and catch off Kenzie. The timing, something Kenzie's completely unprepared for. An early 5-on-3. How rare is this from Apeks?
Yeah, and one of the few times they've actually punished the proactive play of Aurora, so you can certainly see that tide shifting. Got away with so much at the start of this game, and Apeks couldn't really do anything to stop it. They weren't doing the best job in sort of punishing those kills, but adaptation has been good. They've had more reinforcements on the extremities, and as happened before, push down B ramp. This time Norway will find the kill, and that will bring it even closer. 3-on-4. They're gambling on this B bomb site, and Apeks are currently none the wiser.
It's going to pay off if they keep on committing over here. Norway just needs to be careful about the timing. Cannot look away. Great kill onto JL. Even the dink on Knock. Lackey has been set up for glory. Latek, obviously, with the AWP, there's only so much he can try and do. But the rotations. Jacob is going to get a freebie. Yeah, thinking the rotations from the T side are going to come forward, but the bomb is still there. Jacobs even managed to cross out over. The op shot will not connect in Apeks. There I say it, I feel like this might be their first round in the entire game where they've kept more than one player alive, but I'm not counting any Apeks players before they're hatched.
Trying to hunt down this AWP would be nice, but they have to worry about their own economy, like you're correctly pointing out. Well, that's the one kill he needed to secure his exit, surely. Surprised they're still chasing, but maybe just going for extra confidence burns. This round was all over the shop. Apeks, they actually do a very good job of sort of running inventory on their utility through these smokes, and they don't commit to them because they're unsure about the numbers. And as soon as they cut sound, that's when Lackey offers his life up for free, because he had a read that they were going to reset. Of course, them gambling B meant that the A site was completely open, and had there been one player left on alert, you know, think back to the round where Celta gets 3 kills in middle. Immediately, Sticko took control of Temple over at A and called the all clear. I think that's what they were expecting once again. This time, Apeks were more committed, you know, had more bodies over at B.
Trying to take the peek outwards. I'm surprised he's going for this after the initial domination of the Deagles. Lackey, AK recovered as well. Oh no, Lackey! Why are you doing this to them?
And they saved that ult. They've got a smoke, they've got another player on a gun, and one more to be retrieved in middle. Sticko trying to take deep control so these rotates can't be safe. I think Lackey would have just covered him, and so Sticko can capitalize. 3-on-3. These players all have weapons, but no kit, and the longer Apeks delay, the less likely Aurora are to commit to this. They've still got a buy around the corner, so maybe it is just worth their time. Crossfire from Sticko. Lackey won't be expecting it. Yeah, all these kills show up here for Apeks, and this post plan, you know, they started a man deficit. You take one risk, but far more defensive positions there from Apeks, not just relying on smokes to cover them. So either. This is going to be a complete half turnaround here from Apeks. Started very rough, but it's a winning win.
I guess it is their map pick.
Yeah, showing us what they've got.
Good recovery as well coming out between Jacob and Kixon, right? 5 and 12 and 6 and 11 might not seem like much, but Jacob was 0 and 8 at one point. Kixon wasn't too far behind. So, going into the second half, there should at least be positive signs for them. And obviously a 7th would be a nice little cherry on top. Double up from Aurora. And Lackey's being naded down like nobody's business.
Because he likely instigate action. If they try and contact through middle, that would be a big mistake.
Latek. Jail timing shouldn't be an advantage for him, if not for the fact that you can just wallbang right through that. Latek still keeps most of his HP right about and alive. Celta's demise means the A-bomb site has only got a single player defending it, and that is Lackey. Do they have a smoke for Donuts? Somehow they don't need it. He misses out the opportunity to find the initial cross. Kenzie's gone as well. Jail's lurk activated, and now Lackey. It's scoped in. They've got a single flashbang on Jail. That'll be nowhere nearby if they want to try and force him off. It'll have to be the Molotov to do it, and Lackey is taking damage. 5 HP is all he's got left. JL will not overcommit, will not overhandle this, and as they try and make sure that they choose the right bomb site, B is where they are destined to go. But remember, Latek is still very much alive. If Lackey had found that kill onto JL, there would have been a real opportunity, but another chance missed out, but quickly recovered courtesy of that flashbang.
Yeah, this is a great call here from Apeks, just pulling themselves away. They knew they had enough time to rotate round, but it's all about how much space Kixen can provide. Here has slipped by, and that's Norway. Could cut off the bomb, and does so successfully. 14 seconds, they should be able to get this one planted, but there's a flank coming. These two L's, these two AWPs, grouping in for a wrap round from behind, and I don't think they'll be expecting both. Latek's gone around the world. He's certainly loud on his approach, and Kixen tucking himself close. Shotgun AWP, if it's checked, will be a massive mistake, and it won't be. So Kixen pulls the trigger. Lucky, last man standing, and no kit. Finally revealing himself and just praying for a wall bang. 8-7, a complete recovery here from Apeks. We'll see how they do in the second half.
It's a beautiful light. It's a beautiful light, don't you think? It's a beautiful light. It's a beautiful life, don't you think? If we go down, we go down in history. If we go down, we go down in history. How can I save you when you're tangled in your lies? Caught up in the middle, I can see it in your eyes. Lonely in the corner, waiting for somebody to come and save you from the cold of night. Easily, we've been falling in disbelief. I think I'm ready for another try, but this feels like the last time. So why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. Why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. So why did you say goodbye? Quiet like the ocean, with the rumble running deep. This is how I see you, when you hide your feels from me. Why you heavy-hearted? Cut the silence, talk to me. Release your mind, get what you need. Easily, we've been falling in disbelief. I think I'm ready for another try, but this feels like the last time. So why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. Why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. So why did you say goodbye? It doesn't matter. We seem too young to understand. For the better. The weather changes when we dance. Belong together. Catching sunsets, riding waves. We stay forever. Where the rhythm never ends. 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 Where
Generally speaking, when I say it's a tale of two halves, they don't both take in place between 15 rounds. Apparently 8-0 and then 7-0 after that is just a thing now, Michael. 8-7 is the current scoreline. We've got a small technical glitch, and while we sort that out, obviously you've got big old heads.
Yeah, a tale of two quarters, seems like. I don't know what happened. You know, as soon as we had that one round where Aurora lost to the force buy, or like the half buy from Apeks, suddenly the tides turned. I think that, you know, I sort of speculated maybe it's a confidence builder kind of round and maybe shaking the confidence of Aurora, but it really felt like we started to see better punishment plays from Jacob. We saw JL get a few contributory frags, and the mid-hold and the proactive nature of Aurora was getting shut down and actually checked for in sort of the early round moments. So yeah, good to see that Apeks were able to gather themselves. And, you know, we talked a little bit about how because they brought in an in-game leader in Kixan, who, you know, previously from the Blue Jays, they're a very sort of spread, sort of pick your poison in a mid-round kind of team. Kixan made some great decisions to sort of circumvent what these guys on Aurora were doing, actually.
Definitely got a good feel for things, but obviously also just have to point out there were 4 rounds won on like a 1v1 or 1v2 or 1v3.
It wasn't
in
pretty
the
at
first
the
4
start.
that they won, right? So, and look, it did get better, absolutely. Credit to Kickstand where that is due, 100%. But the first 4 rounds they won could have just as easily, if not more so, been with Aurora. We could have seen a 12-0, and then, you know, listen, something's telling me that after 12-0, those last 3 might not be quite the same. Now, obviously, that's not how Counter-Strike works. Every round is its own entity, but I do want to point out and build on what you're mentioning about Kixan's adjustments, because I do think it was particularly impressive, not just how they were shutting down the mid-push, but also how they were shutting down the formerly Forza duo in Kenzie and Shafi, in how exactly they were pushing out through the cave position, through Cheetah, just trying to make plays and whatnot. Jail was doing a great job there.
Kenzie and Norway. You know, there's a lot of ending players. Lackey, Norway, Kenzie, like they all end with E's. But no, that I definitely agree. And you know, some of it was actually that they were targeting the A bomb site more. I think you know, I had the idea that maybe they were trying to target the young guys, and that was Selter and Latic, where both of them were put under a lot of pressure at the start of this game, and they were handling that perfectly. You know, they killed everybody. You talked about the communication, the chemistry between them on some of these A-holds. It looked very, very tangibly there, and I think they weren't expecting these guys to come out swinging like that. I actually do think that was an intentional move from them, but by the time they started getting pressured on B, you know, first we had that rush round, but then we started to see them actually try and finish on the B bomb site with rifles, which, you know, at that point, Norway and Kenzie weren't having as big a contribution. They were actually tested, and they couldn't answer.
And look, as much as it was definitely a tale of the B-bomb side as well, we did, towards the very end of things, I think the last 2 rounds, we saw a better default as well, quite frankly. I have to say, I was very critical of what we saw in the default early on, coming out from the Apeks side and what they were doing. It felt like it's always a 5v2. It felt like you could never actually find out where the inside side players were playing, and without that information, without full utility, there were problems coming into it. I will also add to it that there were a few rounds where later on, especially when you saw that double up coming out, didn't really see full utility of that. There were a lot of missed opportunities, a few missed shots here and there as well. So I have to say, it won't be the best. Wasn't quite the best of performances for Aurora, even towards the end of things. But you know what? We're back into the game, and we'll have to wait to see whether their T side can rejuvenate some of that early on juju.
Yeah, I think a very tailored CT side as well from Aurora. We saw a lot of bread and butter hits from Apeks in terms of trying to crunch A, and I wonder whether Apeks will have done the same kind of research on their CT side. Aurora, some utility on their belt, smoke flash and a Molotov is what they'll be able to deploy. No kits, crucially, here for Apeks. Didn't have them on Aurora on their pistol either. So they're hoping that they just go out with a brawl right in the very spread default. And the bomb actually cut off over at B. JL and Kickstand combining, and that makes it a lot more awkward because they went for some mid-control. They're trying to link up with this B guy, and they won't succeed in doing so. Only one man stands left, and that's Kenzie. Not a single kill coming in for Aurora.
Well, isn't this reminiscent of what we saw?
God.
Well, even keeping Kevlar alive on 2 players as well. That's quite nice to see. Yeah. Easy upgrades into the M4A1 for Jacob, and Kickson's obviously got a bit more bling in him. So
and a full team ace alongside it. You know, everybody was just, they killed their one and they moved on with their lives. When Aurora had very few left to offer up. So 8-0 streak into 8-0 streak. And it looks like Apeks might even extend that to a 9th, because it's only Glocks. JL's got an MP5, and seems like one of the weapons that is least liked in terms of the SMGs, but I've seen it before. Thank God he gets nothing from it. Don't reward this man.
Gotta say, Michael, I always really like watching like these long range anti-eco fights with that X-ray, just because it's so much more visually impressive just to see them. What, you can only see their heads and you're still getting all of these. This is practically like being in a full buy, right? So I like that one. Quite fun for me personally.
Yeah, and of course we're trying to amend that X-ray. There's
Yes.
you know, it's not always the easiest. Sometimes it comes on, sometimes it comes off, and then the commands you're supposed to use don't even work. You know, you have to do some quick finagling, but Source 2's coming apparently. So, you know, eventually we'll get everything fixed, surely.
When Source 2 comes, I've heard rumors that there's going to be 3-dimensional X-rays, Michael, where you can just see the entire body. Yeah, pretty. Well, I don't know, man. I'm trying to go with something over there. I'm not good at this leaking stuff, guys. Come on, everyone's baiting, getting Twitter impressions. All I'm getting is impressions that JL is a bit of a monster at holding down bomb sites.
Yeah, him and Gixan collecting on 2 kills respectively, 1 through mid and another in B, trying to capture. Showed a little bit of head and won't actually stick around to find out. Sometimes you mess around and you do find an angry Aurora player, and they've got to be disappointed with how this game started and how it's currently going. Right now, Apeks putting their foot down and really suffering graces here. Stiko even caught off guard, but Kenzie unable to finish off the frag. Low HP, while Selter can collect. A 1-on-3, the bomb separated in at B. They don't have information, at least on the Apeks side, that is down. So that is a saving grace, but Selter doesn't know that.
I think they know that he doesn't have it, at least, because Stiko did spot him, right?
Yes.
So they should know that this shouldn't be an immediate threat coming in onto a bomb site. That being said, Salta right now looking more for kills than anything else. He knows that this next round will be one of austerity, to say the least. Maybe even saving, okay.
Yeah, well, what? Max loss bonus? It's not...
Don't think it's max loss bonus.
Well, pistol's worth 2, and then now we've had 2 more rounds.
So then 29, I guess? Yeah, 2,900
Okay,
is what
yeah,
they're on.
well,
Yeah.
not max, but we're there now.
Yeah.
Thing is, do they half buy? Do they commit? They can squeak out Galils if they so choose. But no, comfortable with the half. Selter should hover that 400. So he'll have 3,800 next round. Never mind, he just full buys.
That could actually be a big difference maker. An extra $400 down in the bins, but
Really hoping
let's
for a
wait and
plan,
see. I mean, look, they're not just a plan, they're hoping for the full round with the kind of investment that they're going for. But hey, it could completely destroy their economy if you don't at least get a plant, for sure. But that should at least be likely with the kind of investment that is going into things. JL already with that utility, so if they start to come in fast towards his own angle, it'll be more difficult. Kixon doesn't want to mess with this boost. For good reason, will end up backing off while damage is dealt onto Latek, the only unarmored player, and he is feeling unhappy about his positioning. Grenade right to the back of Norway as well. Continuing to pepper down these T-side players. This is a seasoning that you'd rather do without. Well, there's the bomb dropped down as well. Jacob able to find that, and now they know where Seltzer and the solitary AK are as well. Jacob's out on a hunt, but now he's got to deal with someone of his own size. Seltzer finds him, takes him down, and bomb can't be recovered, but Kixon's not going to have a chance to bring it back. He didn't anticipate Kenzie's positioning at all. Was trying to line up a pre-fire inside deep cave instead.
They're really scared about this guy from Apeks. Both moving through spawn, and Stiko peers his head out right into death. Starting to get the read that the A-bomb site should be open. I think Stiko, typically the solo man has down to try and fake out that he's not going to be there. Selter will succeed. That's an ult for him. And it sparked the flame for Apeks to mount their comeback on their T side. Aurora Gaming, similarly, a half buy, first to break the ice.
Hopefully this isn't going to end up being 7 rounds straight from them, though. And we'll see. God, Apeks has got such a terrible vibe behind this. This is one of those few rounds where you're just hoping that they can raw firepower their way out of it. Knock. Obviously on the AWP, he's the big man you've got to keep an eye out for, but he's been relegated to Donut, and guess what? It's been smoked off. Smoke jail spotted out, trying to exploit it, but Kenzie just fires in through. He's already heard the initial tag, and Jail's demise makes this all the more unwieldy.
Seltzer holding for an A push, and Stiko eventually out. Lackey lined up, and Stiko half cleared behind, but it was enough for him to duck into cover just in time. Seltzer keeping him at bay. Players here on Apeks are low HP, only one healthy is Nork, and he's able to find his one as well. Kicks in close smoke, and a gap around it. Latic, freebie offered up, and they're back into 2-on-2. He can play his life here and buy more time as well for Nork to come on by. Right now, Aurora are regrouping themselves. Kixan not convinced that it's only going to be a B play, trying to suss out a lurk, but there's no one there.
They've got no idea whatsoever. Even Nok was trying to find out a lurker over towards the A side. He thought that after the initial donut push, there might be a player left behind to try and work this way in through Red Room after the first duel's lost out, but they've completely misread the situation and the map. They've got no kits, so it makes it even more difficult. Nok's been giving up the A1, and guess what? He's able to get one, but Norway just swings out from behind, and Kixon's life is forfeited right there with the wallbang.
Yeah, swapped over the AWP from Nork into Kixan's hands because he was low HP, but the tags were enough, and so Norrican can just collect on the last two. Back-to-back rounds, and now into pistols are Apeks. Not even enough to squeak out P250s or the like. A rough state of affairs now for Apeks presented, because after getting so many rounds together, 10 rounds in a row. Suddenly the game is neck and neck once again. Didn't really feel like we had an Aurora to speak about. Close round, sure. When it came to clutches, always went Apeks' way. Now a free B bomb site that they've just realized. Smokes are down.
I think
when they fade, they'll fully realize.
Yeah. I won't blame you for that. You know? Yep. Jargon, industry jargon. Right?
Free B, what you say, free A too?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think
I
so.
don't actually. I say yay. Because it's free yay.
Yeah, no, just wanted to let that one sit for the viewer at home. Back into full buy territory, and no AWP here for Nork. I think we'll be able to take those range duels uncontested. Lackey with a SMG, and he'll use that to create space. Oh, to Red Room he'll go, and because he was smoked off, Nork has moved his muscles away from middle, and this is a massive gap that can be exploited. Lackey fully capitalizing. This is a really bad look, a fantastic timing being found, and Kixon's aware that this is a possibility. Doesn't realize how deep they are. Answer, no. Kixon plucked, and so now Nork under pressure. Lackey overwhelms him as well. So it's only Stiko that can contest A, and he's getting smoked and mollied off.
Fortunately, those don't go too well hand in hand, but I do still think this was going to be a safe call to come out from Apeks. Jacob smoked off as well, nothing to offer to the round any longer. Lackey doesn't just create space, he basically wills it into existence, some sort of creationism coming into it. Kenzie even realizes that Stiko is right next to him, as JL's the only casualty he thought he would find, but double back for Stiko, why not? Jacob, good for the one, but feeling like this goose is about to go down very soon. Grenade won't be helping out. Second one even less so. Molotov keeps them away. Jacob saving at least is in the cards, but even that, Celta is coming in from behind.
Yeah, 25 kills for our 20-year-old. Doesn't look like he'll be able to find or suss out Jacob just yet. If he pre-fires, could have got a little dicey, but not enough seconds left in the round, so Jacob's holding onto his rifle, but yeah, I don't imagine Nork's going to make that rotation again. Not so quickly, not so swiftly. And that's a fantastic call there from Lackey. Instigating action, talked about how he wants to be at the center of the map on CT sides. Well, he put himself in the center of the map. Problem is, Apeks didn't know about it. Third tack. So might need another motivational speech. I don't know if it was Stiko that gave it last time. He won, what, 2 key rounds, 2 clutch rounds, but it came way too close. Kickson also converted one over the line. It's been tumultuous, all the rounds that Apeks have collected, and they looked cleaner when we ended that last, sort of the embers of the first half. And now Aurora back into a lead that might be hard to tackle. Light investment around this rifle. And they will leave Stiko in charge. Jacob's rifle is over. KL finding the lurk. Stiko overwhelmed. So 4-on-4, a rifle can be.
Well, rifle has been retrieved, but it feels like round's been very much lost. Might as well try and back off inside that rifle. Apeks should not have much chance in this at all. And listen, let's also just sort of take everyone back. The one-on-ones they were winning out in the first half, even if you can try and find something like it over here, it's CT side. You need more money than that. So save where you can, save what you can, and hope that the next round goes a little bit better than this.
Yeah. Create a containment area as well. I talked about how that bomb radius has expanded here on this map, and it is certainly, we see teams get punished for it all the time. See, they're even worried about exiting through a main, but one of them will hazard that risk. Find more guns. Jacob's found out. They go down with the bomb. Yeah, not enough distance there, and so no survivors in spite of the round win. That's great damage there from Apeks, and it tees them up for potential future successes.
Listen, while I'm with you on great damage, Latic and Celta still have over 7k, right? Like,
it was worse than it was on their CT side when they were winning. You know, Aurora, they got, what, 7 rounds straight, and they were still hovering just under 10k. This time, Latic had more than that. I get you.
Yeah.
But if they're contested wins, eventually they'll grind them down. Possibly, yes.
There's no bomb plants in there, no shenanigans like that either, right? Kickson, no shenanigans already! Kenzie will shut him down, but I've got to say he's got a slight heart attack on that, if he is even slightly human.
Yeah, lucky to point that smoke itself. Kickson was just like, wait, where is it? From beneath me? Very quick reaction, but unable to keep himself alive. Yeah, minor heart attack. It's okay, we're all good. Fairly young guys. And there's another one gone. Nork bringing us to a man advantage. Celter will creep through toward main. Has yet to meet any contact. No one playing big box, so can't get deep information. That means Stiko's in a pretty compromised spot, holding on to both middle and A simultaneously, because they've reinforced the B bomb site. One smoke that was drawing that extra player over. And now they're going to try and reroute. The only place that hasn't been cleared is Donut, and that's where Stiko lies.
Maybe this is his opportunity to find all the information in the world Latic!
They're in trouble.
Yeah. This round can't be recovered at this stage. Norway's taken up this position, and look, that Molotov does nothing. Absolutely nothing. It won't be forcing him forward in the slightest. He's got a flashbang still ready to go, and that's going to be able to tee him up for a quick little duel as well. Norway's got a second, and JL around the corner with the revelation coming down to Norway from up above. This is just a 14th, and what in the world was that shot from that?
Yeah, I mean, expecting Stiko to win that fight pretty much every day of the week. Latic at least checking all corners because they didn't Molotov him out of place. And Stiko tried to play the off angle, tried to play it safe. Will not succeed. People will think maybe that 3-on-3 low util, only 1 kit. Maybe it's not worth going for if you're Apeks, you know, if you're thinking long term, but with the streak of rounds that Aurora have garnered, and how close they are to the finish line, you have to take that gamble and just hope that you're given a chance back into the round. Hoping that at maximum they would lose one player and then they could save on 2, but not to be. Still a reinvestment here from Apeks. Aurora answering back with 6 straight. This game has been super streaky, I think it's fair to say. If anyone's kind of tuning in and out. Final streak to the finish line.
Oh, JL. Oh, the flashbang. It's too much. He got back on fire. I can see. Off with his head and a grenade to Nox's body. Maybe not the most damage dealt from it, but if nothing else, it is a nuisance.
Smokes in now as well. Nork might pull his attention away from Cave, and that's what Kenzie's hoping for sometimes. Jacob, what can you do? So many men down, and a lack of presence. Tried to call their bluff, but they were just waiting for a counter move. Bomb now is just going to go be picked up by Norway. This is a round that is down and out. Only way back in is if Stiko finds the clicking presence, and he won't succeed. Too quick, and Kenzie about to give up that angle, and he misses his shot. He gets spammed to high hell as well. The AWP answers. Nork walks in, and one no scope won't quite cut it. 15 now for Aurora on Apex's map pit.
Wow. I think that's really all I have to say.
Yeah. Sad trombone noises, I think.
Yeah. The saddest of all instruments, actually, from what I've heard. Scientifically conducted research has proven that. Yes. It is me. I am the science.
Oh, I see.
Lucky, though. What about a science? He is a man of mechanics. Mechanics that have failed him right now. Jacob to take him down with the MP9. 3 players clustered into mid, trying to recover any sort of advantage that is humanly possible. One back off to safety. At least that objective has been accomplished. But what comes next? Celta still lurking into middle, trying to take the duel up against Jacob. And with a deep Molotov, will just back off to safety. Jacob forced back, kicks in position. This time there's no gap in the smoke, and as he dodges out the flashbangs, actually no line. There's a gap in the smoke even now. How many times is this going to happen?
Clearly one more round. Happen for, and God, man, Celta has been so aware of the possibilities here for Apeks on any flanking plays. JL found out, and so now they lose sight of over whether it could be just a full B commitment. You see Nork peeling back over to mid to make sure he can cut off rotates, but they're playing a patient game. Don't investigate too far. You haven't gained control back on the bomb site. Nork has to hover that and has to trust that they could go back over to A, and they're so concerned about a flank. Aurora just pumping the brakes. There were 2 players here. Now it's just Jacob, and he's low.
Smoked off as well. Counter smoke to come out so that they can try and make a play around it. They're at least threatened to do so. The ball hopping up and down will be planted. Kenzie, successful cross, and with the deep Molotov, Jacob cannot take an angle, and as soon as he even thinks about it, that grenade rebounds in his face. Knocked down, Kenzie will be forced off for Celta to be forced to try and get into position to the first man to take contact. Flashbang won't matter. It's Stiko completely out. Norway to seal the deal, 16-10, and despite Apeks coming through with some good rounds, with some good flashes, flashes don't win your games, shots do.
A little confusing a map, I think, from the get-go. We had that 8 streak there from Aurora, then 10 in a row for the Apeks guys, and the thing that sparked the comebacks for both of the squads were these half buys. You know, we had these closely contested rounds, but when they were on a streak, it felt like they couldn't lose, and they didn't. But you lose one half buy.